from the Pioneer Racing Pigeon Club of Ontario. A little late, Pioneer time. We had some mic issues, but we are here to answer all your questions. Pigeon related, race related, band race related. Any questions you have, put them in the comments section, and Ryan, Richard, or myself will do our best to answer them. If not, the community that joins in always likes to have answers, has answers sometimes, or suggestions, so we invite those as well. Go ahead, Ryan.
Welcome, everyone. Happy evening. It is definitely cool out. I've already got the birds darkened except for the skylights in the Pioneer loft. Just don't want no extra wind blowing in. Richard, a while back we had a small loft that we built.
Mm-hmm.
We had that wire floor.
Right.
With the wire floor, the front open, and the roof breathing.
Mm-hmm.
In these conditions, you don't want that. The loft just turns into a real chilly place. And I cannot imagine having birds on a wire floor, like V perches, pole perches, fronts open.
And they're sitting right in the wind.
They're sitting right in the wind. They're growing. They're molting. Oh, I just thought of that today,
Like a dragon.
I thought about it that year we had those birds in there. Yeah. And we did have we had issues, right?
Right.
The birds were constantly in a wind tunnel.
Yeah.
It's not like you're in Spring Hill, Florida, where at night it gets down to 75, 65, But anyways.
Want to give everybody a shout out who has tuned in. Lots of people on the line, reminding everybody what to do if you have a pigeon related, pigeon racing, pigeon weaning, pigeon health, any kind of pigeon question, put them in the comments section below. Mike Vanderyak says Benzing has come out with a drone. Really? God, we're not going to talk about drones again, are we? Mike Vanderyak says solid floors in southern Ontario. Mandy's in the house says good evening, Pioneer Village, Alamar, Leah, and Ryan, aka Karen. Troy Spencer in the house says hello, everyone. Michael Pimentel in the house. Ricky Cruz is watching, and we have Brian Mansker over on YouTube. Hey, Ryan, what are you forgetting?
What am I? I'm forgetting my Mr. T jewelry. I'd have to send Ricky in for that. But you know what? I can get it in a minute, Leah. There's no problem.
Get it where
he can get it. It's on. It's on where the where we have the keys.
Okay.
But I want you to put it on.
You're sucking at this.
Over your head.
You're not. You're failing at the whole. What are you? You're our brand ambassador. You're not doing a good job. Just saying.
Well, I'm telling you, I might not be doing a good job there. But loft manager Richard, these are the babies he weaned last week. Look at them this week. They are on fire. They're looking fantastic.
I'm just going to put both cameras on. Put it back down there, Ryan. Sorry. Look at how good they're looking.
1 week, eh? By themselves. You know how much parent time we save? You remember the other one had the white flights?
And that's only after 1 week. I cannot believe it.
Us Belgians, we know what we're doing, eh?
That's incredible.
Isn't that something? There you go. There's a pair of them. A week ago. Weaned. They've been over a week now by themselves. And I'll tell you, Richard right now is on a perfect score this year. I don't think he's lost one baby. Maybe he lost one. I don't know.
Looking really nice and strong and healthy.
Yeah. Isn't that something? People say, oh, you wean them too early. You wean them too early. No. We don't wean them too early. We wean them when it's time to wean them.
Mike Vanderyak says the younger you wean them, the faster they develop, and you can see that for sure. I mean, I should have had some footage from the last show on how little they were.
Well, hey, you remember those? You remember those little Chinese owls? Satnets. Ricky had them a week ago.
No.
Remember?
That was a couple weeks ago.
They were on last week's show. They were real small. Look at this week.
Actually, I did wean them a bit too early. Their tails weren't even out not even a quarter of an inch. It was just like I weaned them too early, and they didn't pick up the way usual, and I had to feed them a little bit by hand, open their mouth and drop some. I dropped the.
When was the last time you hand fed them?
The cat food in there, and I gave them maybe 10 or 15 cat kibbles each time, because it kind of fills them. And when they drink their water, they've been about a week now. They've been on their own. And how much is in that crop?
He's packed right full.
He's packed, yeah.
Oh,
These two, I don't know. They were a little slower picking up. Now, I got a pair of powders out there.
Yeah.
And they're like unbelievable. They're only this big, and I put the feed right in the nest where the nest is.
Yeah.
The parents eat. These things are jumping out of the bowl. They're eating like and squawking and eating like.
Maybe tomorrow I'll have to come and get a video for next week.
Yeah. So these guys here, I had to do a little bit. I got another pair there off the Seagull cock.
Yeah.
And they were, when I pulled them out, they were real small as well. And I didn't do anything with them. I can't believe it. They're in that basket right there.
They're right here.
They just picked up.
This may be a pioneer bird, eh? For the auction.
That's a brother to.
Yeah, I know.
To the Muley Pie cock.
There you go. Look at this one, Leah. What are you thinking?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna do a solo. Hold on, I screwed that up. Look at how nice. I mean, the camera's kind of crappy, but what a beautiful pigeon! Wow.
He's been about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks on his own. So just to give you an idea how small he was.
Well, Richard,
and they just picked right up.
I got a question.
I got a feeling that these ones, this guy, he's way more intelligent than this guy for some reason. You know what I mean?
Well, I got a question for you, Richard.
Right.
I think this one here, I'm going to ask you, would you like to donate this to the trailer fundraiser?
Well, sure. You know what? I love the black feet on a pigeon when he's young like that. Look at the black feet on him. Look at his look, Leah. Look at the crop on him. Look at the fullness. How wet is he? He's
is that a confirmed? So. You're going to donate that little guy there to the Pioneer Trailer fundraiser auction?
Yeah. When's that going to happen?
Well, he's going to go up for auction there in the end of May or the beginning of May here. And he'll go into the Pioneer loft.
Yeah.
And he's going to compete, and somebody can purchase him and fly the 9 weeks.
Oh, okay, I see. I understand what you mean. Show the nest mate.
Yeah, just an FYI, folks. We will be having a Pioneer Trailer fundraiser auction sometime in May, where we will be auctioning off 10 to 15 youngsters from different fanciers who have participated last year and done well last year. And we will be auctioning off 10 to 15 of them. The auction, you'll be bidding on the pigeon to fly in the Youngbird Pioneer Invitational, the perch, feed, everything included. We got cats in the camera.
There we go. Want to get involved?
She's going to sit and watch.
She's going to sit and watch.
How live we are. She's going to sit and watch.
Come on, Luce.
This is live, folks.
You know what I'll do? I'll give her a couple kibbles.
We're going to give her a couple kibbles. There's the nest
kibbles.
So you're seeing it.
Oh, Mandy says, wow, I love the darker one, and the crops are stuffed full. They sure are. Let me see that guy again, because I was messing around with the camera. Let me see him. Oh my goodness, I love him.
That's a her.
Oh, her. I love her. We should call her Harlequin.
That's a him, yeah.
So there's a brother and sister.
Oh, I love them. The color's amazing.
Best pair from last year. So I think this guy here, this is going to be a lights out pigeon. You can even feel it when you put your hand on the back of him.
Yeah.
He's like putting your hand on the back of you feel the power. This one, a little whinier, but this one, look at this one. Look, he pushes up against you, eh? You push on his back, eh?
Just like his brother from last year.
Oh boy, we know what his brother did last year. So Leah, the number's the number is Pioneer 112015.
Going to be up for auction, up for grabs, folks. You will be able to fly a Loft Manager Ricky Pigeon in the Pioneer if you bid on that little fella.
You can be
Oh,
anywhere in the world, anywhere.
but we're going to get to that when it happens. It's going to be happening in a few weeks. Sometime in May, we are going to roll out the trailer fundraiser. All proceeds will go to helping to the costs of the new Pioneer trailer.
This is the nestmate to the other satinet.
There you go.
That's the nestmate to the other satinet. This is the little hen. And show how wet he still is, but living.
So cute.
Well, there you go.
Now the
So-
satinets, you guys use them as droppers, correct?
Yeah, we use them as droppers. Yep.
They're good for droppers and they're great feeders.
Yeah, they're good pumpers. Unbelievable.
I know you people say beaks are short, but they're good.
Yeah.
All right. Question for everybody in the gallery, in the peanut gallery. Do you guys use droppers? If so, what breed do you use as droppers? Maybe we should explain what a dropper is. Maybe people don't know. What's a dropper?
Droppers. There's so much to a dropper. I think, I was talking with. I did a tour, and I'll explain this. I did the tour in Florida at AAA Loft, and he said when he came from New Jersey, he didn't care if he brought his own pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
He said I have to bring my droppers as the number one thing
Mm-hmm.
because they have such an important role. Get your pigeons used to droppers. They create a calmness. So when your birds come home from the race and they're tired or they're excited or whatever, and you throw those droppers and the droppers hit that board, it tells your birds up in the sky, follow down. They're used to it. Boom! They come down. They hit the board. They feel like it's
So you
every day.
You have a basket beside you.
Yeah.
With maybe 15 or 20 droppers.
Yep.
And you sit there, and soon you see your bird. Soon you see your bird coming over. Just give your dropper a little throw towards the board. Soon he hits that board, that bird will just zero right in onto the board.
Yeah, and they work great. And there's different breeds. We like these. These are real good. You throw them up, and they come right down, and they hit the board. Those Spanish powders are excellent because when the birds are on the board, they wake them up, make sure that they go right in. They just push them right into the hole. I don't know how. They just naturally do it. It's an incredible thing to see.
The powders are amazing.
Yeah.
They're quite the little characters, which you guys will see once again this season because Ryan, we will be using them again. How's Rusty, by the way?
He's good.
Very good. He's got a pair of young ones now.
He's a father.
So
Rusty's a father. Everybody, give Rusty a bunch of thumbs up. He is a father. That's awesome.
He's got a white one in the nest and a jet black.
You should bring on the next show. You should bring them and show everybody Rusty's offspring. Rusty was our fearless leader.
Yeah. And they work just like a sheepdog. Yeah, it's amazing.
They're great.
Herding sheep.
Great breed.
You keep them away from the hens, so they're really excited, and let them out, and that's it.
We were looking at your hands there for a bit, Ryan. So sorry, that was my fault. Mike Vandriak says never use them. Powders are great for young birds. Widowhood cocks don't need droppers. Glenn says never have, but probably should have. And Barbie and Gerard and Barbie say Rusty. We all remember Rusty. Rusty will be back with us again this year, or are we going to retire him and use his offspring?
Well, no, he's got his hen on eggs now as well.
Oh, he'll be come back in one at a time. So we're not going to have a problem. Did you want to rent him off me?
It's kind of funny, Rusty and the hen. I thought the pair of them were. I know Rusty's a cock, but the hen. I thought 100% she was. That's a cockbird. Cockbird, 100%.
Well, Rusty won't make that mistake.
And then all of a sudden, an egg was dropped.
Gary McIntyre said, "Never use a dropper in my life." Dave said, "I use a tame Homer." Oh boy! Yeah, wait a minute. Tie the Homer's leg on a short shoelace to the wire, Avery. It draws into the landing board. No need to use a dropper. Wow.
That's a good.
That's next level, Dave.
Yeah.
Who was it you went to visit and they had droppers? They had about 30 droppers on the board and they were on the ground and the bird comes from the race and it just bang right in.
They want all the droppers on the ground, on the roof, anywhere they want. They just want droppers. I can't remember the loft I was at, but I think it was in Belgium. But it was incredible and totally what they say is when the droppers are out and your pigeons are used to the droppers.
It shows a calmness.
And you know what the pigeon does? He just goes like this. Bang, done, finish. And if you've never used a dropper, I tell you something. Like the guy said from AAA Loft, I don't care if I bring my birds to Florida. I'm not leaving my droppers because that's how valuable he put that's like the finishing.
I know years ago, keeping my pigeons, I used to keep them open hole, right? And you send a pigeon to a race, and on race day, I'd have all open hole pigeons or pigeons that are out on the board, they're on the lawn, they're flying around, right? And so race day, I'd lock my pigeons up, right?
Yeah.
The pigeon would come home. He'd come home from the race, and then all of a sudden he would just kind of circle and kind of. He was. You could just see it. Where are my buddies? What's going on here? How come there's no one on this board? He's used to it.
Right.
So then after, I start letting my birds out. All my birds out on race day. And I'm sitting there waiting for birds, right?
And remember, remember, he was using a manual clock.
Manual clock. And you'd think, oh no, that's the worst thing you can do. Why would you do such a thing? Oh no. And the birds would come home and they just fold their wings and just bang right on that board. And the pigeons would literally, that come from the race, would literally push through the crowd to get into the hole, into the hole. And then, I had birds coming from Hearst. They flew a hard day, pushed to get in. And I'm talking literally trapping within seconds. Of the time he hit that board, he was in, right? And then 20 minutes later, he was back on the board, come back out, tread his hand, go for a little fly around the trees, And a lot of people say, oh my God, what is he doing?
And you know what? When you were sitting there waiting, you had to focus because as the birds were calm, they felt no pressure. They just fire in, and if you were going to pour yourself a beverage, guess what? You kept the bottle with you. You didn't leave.
I always had the garden hose.
Garden hose. He was using the garden hose bottle.
So Gary McIntyre said that he never used a dropper, and he doesn't feel that he has ever had the need to. Mike Vanderyak says, I want Rusty's son in the Red Wings section. Rusty 1 and Rusty 2.
I'm going to tell you something. If you've never used a dropper, I don't think you can make that line.
Statement. Because, Dan Gregoric says, droppers save my life in Florida, thousands of dollars per section. Henry wants to know, are fantails good droppers? What breeds are good droppers? Would you say?
Indian fantail. An Indian fantail is very good. I remember I knew a man by the name of Herb Case. He was a tippler flyer. And I went to visit him one day, and it was raining. It was steady rain all day, rain. And I went in his backyard, and he had a kit of 7 tipplers flying. And he said, well, I only let them fly for 6 hours per day until they go to when it's a fly up. Then they got to go from just before daylight till 9, 10 o'clock at night. But I said, oh, yeah. She said 6 hours, and that's it. It was raining. And I was right there. It was around 12:30.
Okay.
Said, I'm going to bring him down. He went in the loft. He grabbed 3 fantails. They were Indian fans.
Right.
And he stood in the lawn, and they were way up,
Yeah.
He threw one. All of a sudden, like a second, they start doing this, spiraling down. Next thing, threw another one. Again.
Yeah.
By the time he threw that third one, they all down on the board and right in.
Now, I want to say,
Lots
if you're going to start using right, if you're gonna, okay, I'll make it quick. If you're gonna start using droppers,
Mhm.
you start using droppers just before you start training. When you start to loft fly when you're loft flying your birds and you want to bring them in, even hey, you're bringing your birds in at dinner time, your birds aren't flying. You throw the droppers out on the board, then you call the birds in. So they start to put it together. But go ahead, Leah.
Okay, so YouTube friends, I just want to give shout out. Antonio Rodriguez is in the house, ABC Loft. You guys have questions? I'm going to get to you in a second. Owen Cleveley wants to know, what is a dropper? The Coles Notes version. Simple, to the point. What is a dropper?
A simple dropper is a pigeon that you can use. You can put on the board. You either put him on the board, throw him on, or throw him up so he goes to the board and he brings the other birds down. You can use race birds. You can use fantails. You can use powders. You can use Chinese owls. You can use the big tall powders. Whatever you get used to. I know some guys have race birds. They cut the flights. Blah blah blah. There's many different birds to be droppers. You can have your race birds sitting outside.
That's what Dave just said.
That's it. Anything, just sitting out on the board. That creates droppers calm.
It gives your race bird
Right.
when he comes.
Coles Notes.
He looks and he sees everything's okay. I know, especially when you're flying young birds. Let's say first week of October or something. The third week of September. That's when the hawks start hitting around here, and I know a race bird will come home, and you'll see him. He'll come down and he's going to almost come on that. He's about tree height, and then he'll make a couple circles. He's almost like looking or feeling whether the hawk's around.
Yeah.
But if you have a dropper and you sit there and you just give him a little toss to the board, soon that race bird sees that dropper, bang, he's right on that
And I'll
board.
tell you, you asked Dan. Dan Gagoric. I'll tell you.
Flew in Florida.
Florida. I'll tell you, if it's me here this year, I like about 20, 30 droppers. I know it sounds a lot. I don't want to keep going in the loft grabbing the same bird. Have your basket there. Go to work with them.
So-
They're like your little guns.
So, Mike Vandriak's pointing out powders are not droppers, different purpose and different concept. The race bird follows the dropper to the trap. Powders push the birds to the trap. So we have
That's
both.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have
Both.
we have Rusty, and then we have the Charlie's Angels there, his little sidekicks.
Yeah. Mike's 100%
Right.
right. You got your dropper brings the bird down, but a dropper won't push a bird into the trap. But your powder, your cockbird, you keep them separate. So in a section where he's not with a hand.
You can keep them with the birds all week, but about Thursday, take them out and leave them in a basket. And what it does is it just turns the car on until you're ready to use them. Keep them in the basket there, and away he goes. And I'll tell you something. What I like about a dropper, a powder, or an Indian fantail, I think sometimes it's key. What droppers don't do. Dropper, you'll throw him up, and he'll dip, dive, and land. Great. But sometimes you need a little bit of this.
Yeah.
That clapping, when you throw up a powder, he puts that little bit of like, hey,
Yeah.
how's it going? He makes the sound, and it's a calming sound. I just like it.
I'll tell you, a lot of times you get a bird come home from a race. It's a hard race,
Mm-hmm.
and he lands, and he hits the board,
He's
and
beat.
he's got his wings open, and he stands there kind of in a daze. It's like, oh, am I? I'm
Where at?
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stunned.
Yeah. But when you throw that powder out there, he just gets right on him and he starts pushing him.
He wakes them.
Wakes
he takes
them right up.
Takes the trance out. And I'll say one thing: we were at the Texas Shootout, and it was the first time we seen those powders. They must have had 12 powders out on the board,
CL Gage had it.
right? And these powders, all they did was just take birds and drive them in.
Yeah.
No bird was sitting on the roof. You didn't need tennis balls. You didn't need nothing. Boom.
Let me get to the comments here. Robert Daughtry says, I use Vorbergs. Over on YouTube, I believe Antonio or ABC Love, do we cut or trim the dropper's wings? Because they can fly too, right? You do trim the wings on the droppers, don't you? You did last year. I feel like you did.
Ryan does, but I don't like to do it.
I do a little bit. Sometimes you got to watch. If you want to take a little bit off of them, you can. I don't think you really need to. Once you get them used to the board, most of those droppers don't want to fly. If you have them that they do, okay, you know what? Start on the first 2 flights, cut them down a little bit, try them out. They're still flying. Cut them a little bit more, and then that's it. Last year I cut them a little bit too much, but that's okay. And if you cut them too much, you got to have a little ramp for them to get to your landing board if they go on the ground, right? But just you shouldn't really have to. Although you don't want droppers that are doing 10 loops.
No, they won't do that. They just go from the basket right to the board.
Now this is a good point. Rodrigo said, one day I used a chicken for a dropper. I don't know why my pigeons flew back to the sky. She had feathers. Chickens won't work as droppers.
No.
No.
Mike Vandriak said, if you tried to use a dropper in Unit 10 at Spring Hill, you would be shot. They would keep your neighbor's birds in the air. I mean, powder in Spring Hill. If you try to use a powder. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Well,
yeah. Well, powders
like
are
Robert
really
says,
used for.
You train them with the homers. You don't need to cut them. If you train them properly, the droppers, you shouldn't have to cut their wings. Antonio has a question for you guys. My breeders, after about 10-day-old babies, they want to eat grit like crazy. The problem is that they're getting loose droppings.
They're missing something else that they're looking for in the grit.
I'm wondering how much he's feeding. Like, has he got enough feed for them?
Enough mix. They want a lot of grit. What was the question? Say it again.
Okay, I'll just read it again. My breeders, after about 10-day-old babies, they want to eat grit like crazy. The problem is that they are getting loose droppings. So is it the breeders with the grit?
The breeders.
The breeders are eating.
No, the
grit.
breeders, yeah.
And what round? What round is he on now?
So is that on every round, starting from the first round, or is that is he on his 3rd or 4th round right now?
Okay, so Antonio, which round are you on now? Dan Gregoric says salt. Mike Vandriak says too much salt in the grit. Well, that's probably what's causing the loose droppings, but why are they gravitating towards the grit?
Is it the first round, 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round? Because I find sometimes when they hit about the 4th round, and if the flyer, the breeder, isn't keeping up with
the goods,
the proper feed, the proper minerals, I only give grit to my birds 3 times a week. The all-in-one grit. That's it.
We use the all-in-one grit. We don't use the regular grit, and not knocking the regular grit. All-in-one's got about 60 things in it, all different things, minerals, little seeds, whatever it has. But I do agree. It depends on what round you're on. I think it depends even on the temperature. Maybe you're in Arizona. Maybe it's 100. We know sometimes here in June or July, those rounds later, you get a round where it's very watery. We've had
Antonio says every round.
Wow. Huh.
Every round. I don't know. Maybe someone else can help us.
Yeah. Do the birds have a regular section? Can they go in? Can they go out? I should have had that picture. That was a picture for today.
Okay.
Anyways.
Where's your phone?
Forget it. Take a rabbit cage. And I'm being honest here.
Or a hamster cage.
A hamster cage. Put a pair of pigeons in it. And breed out of them. Yeah, you might get a round. Yeah, you might get 2 rounds. But I'm going to tell you. You've got a real aggressive cock. The pushing, the dominating. What happened? A guy bought a very expensive pair of pigeons. He pushed the hen right into the ground. I looked. The pair of pigeons he bought was $12,000. He had a beautiful pair of pigeons in a rabbit cage, no wire bottom. He had to clean out the box every day, scaring the shit out of the birds.
The cage was what, foot tall?
Wasn't even it wasn't a proper cage. And you know what? I would say to him, because I don't know the grit question. How are the breeders? Where are they? Can they get out? Can they move around?
He just typed in cage breeding. Cage breeding.
Ah, okay.
But
I'm going to be
Mike,
honest.
okay, and wait 1 second, Ryan. I just want to. Mike Vandiak said the breeders always eat lots of extra grit when the squeakers transition to hard feed. And we also want to know what kind of grit are you feeding Antonio? But go ahead, Ryan, because I know this is exactly what we're talking about right now, right?
Yeah, this is I see pigeons that are bred in individual pens. I think the pens are good, but you got to make them like an actual section. I think that's something where the birds can go up and they can go down. I think when you start keeping birds in these cages and breeding, the hens don't get the movement. We had them here and we tried it, eh? Nice. We had nice deep cages. You know, the birds could go up about a foot or two, and we thought that was great. And every time we had people come over to look at the birds, you'd pick up the bird. They looked great. You'd pick them up. It didn't matter if it was the hen or the cock, on the eggs or off. Within the first 2 seconds of you handling that bird out of that cage, what did the bird do in your hand?
The droppings were incredible.
Explode like this.
It's just like they don't want to crap
Right.
in that small
They know they're too tight.
unit or something.
So Antonio says the cage size is 30 long, 20 high, and 20 deep.
Bigger. Bigger. You need bigger.
Should be a bit larger.
You know what? Let me ask you something. I want to ask you something. Hey, you had Leah and me, right? Did you breed us and raise us in a car?
No.
Why not? You have a house, right? You got to have some room. No, and I'm not knocking it. I know guys are all crazy about individual breeding. There's no sense in doing these individual breeding pens if they're not set up to breed them healthy.
Yeah, Mike Vandiak says I'm totally against individual breeding pens. You don't see a lot of that, and if you've gone to guys' lofts in Europe, do you see that? Have you seen that anywhere?
You see it, but you see,
they use like a larger
Theo Agents go into the basement of his house. It's the length of his basement. They're individual bathroom stalls, whole bathroom stalls, 6 feet, 7 feet tall, 8 feet deep. He had 12 of them lined up. Do you know what? In that basement, there was €1,000,000 in pigeons there, each of them in their own individual stall. You know what? He had the hydroponic lights in there. He had the air right in there. He had everything. It was perfect. You know what? He says, I got no problems in here. They breed. The pairs can see each other, so it keeps that motivation up. Remember, pigeons like competition. People like competition. So it's okay if cocks and hens can see each other through. It adds the environment. Now,
maybe what I'll do I will post up that video when you went to go and visit him and that little tour of his basement breeding pens on our page so you guys can see. It's on our YouTube channel. It's on our playlist, one of our playlists for those of you on YouTube. It is on there, but for our Facebook people, I'll post it tomorrow so you guys can have a look.
My old birds, I give them 3 times a week, roughly, fresh grit. I have a spot where I have salt in there.
Sulfur.
I use sulfur. I give them lettuce.
Give them bread.
Excuse me. I give them bread. Throw bread in. I don't know what to say. If you feed that straight red grit, it just seems to go through them too.
My question for Antonio is this your first time? Like, is this your first time basically breeding? Like, have you done this years in the past and you've been successful? And so you're just continuing on, and now this is the first year you found that there's a problem? But he did just write that makes sense. Next year I'll breed in the loft. So he has a loft, but I guess he's trying to do a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Thinking it'll be better for the birds, but not realizing that the birds are more comfortable in their more natural habitat.
Yeah, happy is better. And again, take a look at individual. Take a look at around the world people that are breeding in these individual pens. Really, the successful ones, they're more individual sections. And
so on that note, 1 second, Ryan. Robert Daughtry said, I've been breeding birds out of individuals for over 30 years, but mine are big. They're 2 foot by 2 foot by 42 inches.
Okay, and there's I'm going to say something.
So
there's a magic number where there's enough movement for the hen and the cock. Now, hey, you're now hearing Robert, right? And Robert, you've been doing it long enough, and you got the size. So right off the hop, he's saying to me, I've been using this size and it works. We've used the small, like the original guy said, no results, no good, hit and miss, not the best. So I would go right away and say, okay, Robert, he's been doing this. I will go with that size, or I will go bigger from what I've seen. That's the way I'm looking at it. There's going to be the spot there where it works, but I do think all the pairs, they need that little bit of competition. It's good for birds to see each other. And, I don't think keeping a hen and a cock in there the whole time is the best either. I don't know. For a round or two, switching some eggs, okay, great. And I've seen the smaller the cages, a lot of the time I'll see the guys that drop the eggs and switch them. But I just think you need a little more size. I think like Robert is saying, or bigger. And look at Theo Agents there. That's one. Look at Ioanni Saints. He built the individual breeding pens. You see the wire along the side, so the pairs are competitive. They're whole sections.
So my question now to you is, now Antonio's found himself in this predicament.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now he's going to learn from it and obviously maybe change some things around for next year. But in the meantime, how do we fix this problem? Suggestions? Anyone?
Well, suggestions, it's still not too late. I don't know where he is. Pull the pairs out, put the cocks back out into the loft, put the hens out. They'll pair all back up together. Let them get the exercise back in. They're going to have a couple good movement, get going, get the insides going, and it should come back around.
I'll tell you, and some people can't do it, but if I leave my pairs open hole, right? They're out. They go out in the grass. They do what they like pigeons do. The young ones are
they're like steel.
They're like steel.
Now, and this is the most amazing thing. You say this.
Right.
Okay. You look at Xavier Verstraete, the man on the back of his house, his whole house. He built an aviary on the roof of his house. And this aviary is not regular, eh? This is the whole house. The back of his house. It's 60 by 60 by 12 feet tall. His birds can go out all day long and just move around. And he's like he said, those stock birds, if you want the best quality out of those stock birds, they gotta have the more room, the better. If I had 50 acres, I'd make a half an acre aviary.
Well, tomorrow.
And if I was worried, you know what I mean? I'd invest in it and say, let the stock birds be wild.
I've had my stock birds out now for 2 weeks. Stock birds, my flying birds.
Flying birds.
And you should see them.
Oh, I see
They're
them.
just like.
Well, and I showed.
And they're flying like
Richard.
Unbelievable.
I'm showing Leah, and on the Pioneer Channel.
Right.
Every day he puts that bath pan out, right? We have hard water, orange water. Today I went,
the softener's not working.
The softener's right. Put your line in the water, and you see the feather. You see the plumage.
Right.
These birds have been out every day with rain, okay, for 2 weeks. Every single day the birds are bathing. Every day. What does that tell you, guys? How often are you bathing your pigeons? How often are you giving them the opportunity to clean? Leah?
Yes.
How often do you have a shower?
Daily. In auction season, sometimes every other day. I'm kidding.
And question people, you're watching. How often do you have a shower? I'm sure there's people here that shower twice a day. And the same people that shower twice a day are the people that bathe their birds through the winter? Not once. You want to put good feather on? You want pigeons to be happy? You want pigeons to give you their best? Keep turning the screws. You got to do better. Sorry.
Mike Badiak says, replace your grit with all-in-one or another high-quality mineral grit also in the meantime. Perhaps.
That's a good point.
You can do that. Mike says, I think the birds do better when they can get out into the sun and rain. Few individual pens have aviaries.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
It's okay. Go
John
ahead. And then,
Timmerman, California.
go ahead.
John Timmerman, Leah. I'm going to message him and ask him to send me a video of his individual breeding pens. Best individual breeding pens I ever. One of the very best ones. John Timmerman, California Classic. Go ahead, Leah. I'm going to.
Tony had a good question from Karloffs. Says a bit unrelated, but if you have breeders that just laid their eggs right now, is there a chance to race the babies that are to come from them?
I think you're getting a little bit because they're going to hatch by the second week of May.
Mike Vanderyak
So-
says born in May, go all the way. So
Well, yeah, I think he could have a good shot at it.
When's his race season?
Young ones. When's the race season start? His young birds.
it's Tony.
When are they? Tony.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Tony
if they
who?
hatch. Tony from Newmarket, right?
Karloff.
Yeah.
You're good.
If they hatch, I'd say okay, but maybe the second or third week of May. But then you're cutting it pretty close. You know what? You're gonna get them out there. You might miss the first race or two, but then you'll get them into a short third race, right?
You're going to push them a little bit.
But it's not it's not impossible. Okay.
No.
The only thing is that with those youngsters, you're to let them out with your youngsters that you have now that you're ready to let out. They're not going to be able to keep up with those other ones. You should let them out separately, I would say.
Until they catch up.
Until you,
Yeah.
because.
What about for the Old Bird series?
No, that's the same series, Leah. Oh, for next year.
Pioneer.
Oh yeah, for the Pioneer Band race.
You can bring them in
Tony,
June, July.
Tony, look at the fun you're having in the Pioneer Youngbird here. We still got First and Guru. Guru's feathers are coming in sporadically, but they're coming in. First looks like he doesn't molt. He's so good. You know what? We got space left. Don't miss the opportunity. Pioneer Old Birds. We're only taking 200 birds in. It's a 365-day-a-year race. From start to finish, you're going to love it. So, Tony, maybe that's what you want to do. Pick a first and a second again. Or a first and a Guru, too.
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. All right. So let me take a look and see if there are any other questions. Nothing yet, I don't believe. Ryan, did you want to talk about, what do you want to talk about, respiratory?
I'd like to make a comment.
Okay.
A comment about fellas going to start to let their young birds out now. If they may start. And just let them go out. Let them look around on that board. Let them flutter for a week or two, you know. They're going to start mosquitoing, I call it. Don't get out there now and I mean, if someone doesn't know, don't take your young birds in a basket and take them 5 kilometers up the road. You got to wait till they start rambling or ranging, they call it.
Right? You got to let the baby fat come off of them.
And that will be, they should fly for, let's say, 20 minutes to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So my question is to everybody, who of you guys have already let out your youngsters? Put your answers in the comments.
Oh.
No, I'm asking everybody. Have you guys let your birds out yet?
I haven't let my young ones out yet. I'm going to start maybe next week.
Yeah, so we're going to be...
I want to make sure the hawk is totally gone. I had my old birds out now for 2 weeks. Excuse me, and yesterday, I believe it was, I had a red tail. He flew over just at tree height, and it was like a 747 jet plane. He was so big.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was gliding over or he was going to try and get one of the birds. Now, red tail, he's got to be real good to get a race bird. He's got to be real sharp. But he went over, and those race birds, they took off like their tails were on fire. And now, if you had 50 youngsters on that board that weren't too experienced in flying, they'd be gone. You'd have one 5 kilometers south, one 5 kilometers north, and all over the countryside. So that's why I'm going to wait.
Mike Vanderyak says, my young birds were all up in a tree today looking for oxygen. Glenn Thornley says, yep, his have been out. Barbie and Gerard and Barbie say yes, but the hawk showed his face. Mike's have been out 5 times already. Antonio says that he has his first round out.
Good. Good. And remember, we're going to do it with the Pioneer young birds here. I'm feeding them twice a day. You got to come out. You haven't handled them. I got backs on them. They're this wide. They're eating like pigs.
Right.
Real big.
Right.
When I let them out, they're going to go now to once a day feed at night. They're going to go out for the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks. All I want them to do is go from the landing board to the roof, to the lawn, to the roof, back, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. And with the once a day feeding, after about 2-3 weeks, the weight starts to come off. And then you know what? They're comfortable. All of a sudden, boop, little, come on, let's go up for a fly. And they'll go up and they start. You don't start, whip them right off the bat because you can't do it. You got to get them to cut the weight down, to get them light to go and get them confident and feeling good.
Now, my young birds, if you know what the Twisted Sister looks like, it's all wire on top.
Yeah.
3-4 feet of wire with a ledge on the inside.
Yeah, they all know what the Twisted Sister looks like.
Yeah. Okay. So all the young ones will be sitting on the ledge. I have a small settling aviary on the landing board, on their landing board. And then down below, all the old birds are. And I said for 2 weeks, my old birds have been let out, right? And they've been flying this way and flying, coming back to the loft. They've been getting twig going. You can see them flying to the loft. I mean, they're flying so good. Literally, they're flying upside down. Right. Like they're just unbelievable. But in the same time, my young birds, they're watching. They watch the old bird going out. They watch the old bird coming in. They watch this. They watch, and they're studying it, and they're starting to learn.
You know,
right?
And it's amazing, Leah. We talked about it today. Funny joke, right? Troy Spencer brought the beautiful pigeon for Swoop Loop. You handled him. Was he not beautiful?
Unbelievable.
Beautiful. I'm going to tell you something. That was the nicest gift I ever seen somebody get. That pigeon is a 10 plus. Now hold on, forget that. He's old. He's January born, first week. I let them all out into the hallway.
Right.
The bird's never been in the loft, only been in the loft one night.
Right.
Birds are all in the hallway. I pulled the bobs up and called them in. Can you believe it? He followed the mass in. Through the little bob.
Yeah, and he's only here a day.
12 hours.
Right.
I didn't think. I put him back out in the aviary. Right? He couldn't figure out how to come in through the aviary. All the birds went in. And me and Leah, we laughed and said, oh, you know, without the pack, they're dumb. Mm-hmm. I tapped the stick. I moved him. He went in. He went in the hallway. Mm-hmm. One time. He's been in the hallway now, all by himself. What did the bird do?
Went
right to the bob, right in. See how quick a pigeon learns. So what you're saying, the bird's watching, going back and forth. It's all learning.
They're
watching, all grooming.
They're watching the old birds coming and going. And a turkey vulture flew over there. They were hoovering over. You know, they're going north.
Yep.
And the young ones, they're
in the aviary.
They're in the aviary because I have quite a few young ones. And that ledge is the loft's 24 feet long. The whole ledge is lined up with young birds. And within a second,
there was one pigeon anywhere.
One pigeon. They were from the aviary. They were inside and on that ledge. So
yeah, they're learning. and
just
to show you though how quick the bird from Troy is learning. Go ahead, Leah.
What's the name of that bird? Oh, Monica Flewinski. Such a great name.
Monica Flewinski.
Getting to the comments here. Glenn says he lost 2 of my good Pioneer old bird entrants. Oh, bummer. Henry says he's not let his birds out. Dave Ottaway says he's in basket training now. They're kidding and took off for 1.5 hours already. Ricky Cruz says mine have been out about 13 times, lost 5 already due to hawks. Barbie and Gerard says long way to the top of our house, but they are doing great and love the pool. Yes, we did see that, Gerard. They are starting to do loops over the house. Fantastic. ABC Loft said that he already did 20 of them A lot better in April than in March for sure. In March, the red-tailed hawk got me on the rooftop. Where are you from, ABC Loft? I'd be interested to know that. So some have and some haven't. Let them out.
Yeah.
And a red tail, that red tail's got to be pretty sharp to do
Well,
what he's
and
doing.
he's getting nailing babies, so it's a little bit easier.
Oh yeah, they're just like
a little bit easier. But you know, it's and what I'll say, Ricky Cruz, right? He brought some birds down for us to help him vaccinate. They were big, they're strong, big and strong, a lot of fat on them, right? So the red tail comes or the hawk comes, it's like taking candy from a baby. You're better to leave him in 2 weeks longer, 3 weeks longer, and then let him out. Because all that hard work you're doing, you're putting out nice, fat, healthy, strong pigeons that have nothing.
It's like cherry
picking. You know, the best thing is, and me and Leah joke, the clock's not here yet. It's forcing me to not get greedy. You're greedy with those old birds because you don't care. You're having some fun, right? But you know what? He'll put the old birds in tomorrow. I'll let the Pioneer young birds out. In 2 seconds, a hawk will hit, and I'm done. So you got to be patient.
Well, like I said last time, to wait till the buds are on the trees or the leaves are starting to come out on the trees, and it's almost.
Well, and that's where we're almost at here now.
We're almost there now.
We're almost
Go ahead.
there. Almost there.
The other thing I thought.
Empire Loft says his have been out 5 to 6 times. Dan Brunette says, I'm sending my birds for the band race on the first week of May. When will I know who is handling my birds? Ryan, do you know about that?
Dan, well, I don't know if I.
Dan, where are you from? Maybe he's from Montreal.
Yeah.
Dan, where are you from? Put in the comments where you're from.
Yeah, where you're from.
Ricky Cruz says they're not fat, just a little overweight. Yeah.
Hey, wait. Hey, Ricky.
That's what we all say.
they're just like us. Ricky, when you're done, I want you to type in on YouTube truffle shuffle.
Antonio says I got Cooper hitting my first round, lost almost half in 2 weeks. See?
Yep.
When did he let them out?
Yep.
Well, in 2 weeks. When did you start letting them out, Antonio? And where are you watching from? Anpar says I was in no hurry to let my pigeons out, especially since some of my pigeons were January hatches.
Yeah. I think you got to really study where you are, where you're located. Everywhere in the world is different. I know Florida is different. Here is different. We've been here 50 years. We know exactly sort of when to let them out. Within 2 weeks, and I'll tell you in our young bird series, in about the the last week of August to the first week of September, we're going to get the hawk back again, and he's going to start hitting the race birds and keeping them up for hours. Remember, Leah?
Yes, I do remember.
Guarantee he's coming back again.
Yeah, I remember from last year. Dan says that he's near, I guess, Mount Laurier, Quebec. So he's part of the Dorian group. So who's handling?
Yeah.
LMR.
It's going to be LMR, Troy, Spencer, maybe it's Troy, Mike Van Kempen or Bill Wema.
Right.
And we're still looking for handlers.
So I think what we're going to do with that Montreal group is whoever's getting whoever's birds, the handler, they're going to get a list of obviously whose birds they have. They're to contact that person and let them know.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm your handler. This is my number. This is my Facebook. This is how you get in touch with me. That's going to be a must, okay?
Yeah, and guys, I mean, this gentleman here, if you bought 10 or 12 bands or 15 bands, my smartest bet for you is keep your birds going to one handler. It gives your average speed a better chance.
So he doesn't, but I think he doesn't know, right? He right. doesn't. I guess Dorian set it up, and he doesn't know who's handling, who's not handling. So maybe for this, why don't we just put Dan's birds with loft manager Richard, and that way,
all right.
If you're okay with that, we'll put your however many birds you're sending with loft manager Richard. How many birds did you band? Put that in the comments, please. So Antonio is from Massachusetts and started letting them out 3 weeks ago. So kind of similar. Well, wow, 3 weeks ago. Well, similar weather to us in Massachusetts, right? I would say.
Yeah. He's Massachusetts. I guess yeah. It's almost along the same line as us. 3 weeks ago, we've started letting our birds out 2 weeks ago, right?
My old
And
bird.
we've been lucky.
We've been lucky.
Last year with our birds, we didn't start letting them out till the last week of April. So I'm gonna say for next year, what I want you to do, Antonio, let's go. May the 1st, let them out. I know they're gonna be old. May the 1st, let them out. Let's take and add 3 weeks or 4 weeks to what you did this year. Don't have any birds out. Let them out. See how you do. I bet you're going to do better.
I lost one bird in 2 weeks. Not this past week. I didn't lose that. I lost one bird, and it was a bird that we broke from Rick Fife's one loft race.
So
we took the pair of them. There was 2 back,
right.
And I broke them through the winter.
Yeah.
And the hen, I lost her to the hawk, and
so you've lost one.
I lost one of those 2, and the hawk could have just scared her so bad that she head back for Ricky Feist, but she never went back there because Rick would have called me, right?
Right.
So
okay, so
I don't like to push. I don't like to push the young ones too hard.
To fly.
Yeah, to fly, number one. And like, for example, if I got my young ones out there now flying, and they're flying for an hour and a half, okay, you should start training them, because you have to start training them, okay? But we're a long way from August. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So by the time you get there, you could take the spirit out of them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So Dan has 9, and he said okay. So Loft Manager Richard, you're going to take Dan's 9. Ampar Loft, thank you for the offer. We will find you 10. Troy Spencer is going to take 10, so we'll put that in our notebook. Troy Spencer will get 10 from the Montreal group, because there's, I believe, 240 or something coming from Montreal.
Yeah, and I think Mike said he could take about 80 to 100. And again, Troy is a good handler. Troy knows how to get the birds going. He's flown small teams, and he's always up there and competitive, which is good. Mike Van Kempen, another one.
He's right up there.
Right up there. Bill Wema, again, he's going to get a good shot out of your birds. And you know what? You're not bad.
Okay, getting back to the comments. ABC Loft says, but the youngsters learn now they sit on the loft, not on the rooftop. And he also worked around them changing the times and only feeds once a day now. And Antonio's asking, won't they be too strong on the wing if he waits till May 1st?
Well, and Antonio, we're going to, you know what, Antonio, let me be your guinea pig. Now you're going to say, why? How is this going to work? We have birds in our loft that were banded January 1st, Pioneer. Okay? Each bird that comes in is $350. That's what it costs for these people to participate. We have right now about 100 of them. Oh, let's be honest, about 60 of them at that age, that first week, 2 weeks of January. They're going to start going out by the end of this week or next week. It all depends on when the Benzin clock comes. You can follow our show. They will all get a hand scanned before their first time out. Every day they're going to get their scanning. We do an inventory. And let's see how the old ones do. We have a certain way we break them. No, we don't soap them. No, we don't do anything like that. We put them to school in the Avery. We make them think. We teach them how to trap. Check out our Pioneer. Well, you're on the Pioneer page here now, but watch a little bit of the shows. You see what we do. And our results last year with breaking birds, I think we lost 2 birds off the roof. And one of the 2 came back 2 weeks before the first race. He went over to a barn and started living there. And he come back and he raced all 8 weeks. Isn't that something? He didn't make it back and he still raced. But let us show you how we do it. And sometimes remember, A pigeon isn't your pigeon until he's broke. He has to make in his mind whether he wants to stay with you or he wants to go. Some have it and some don't. And this is what I say to everyone.
So he's worried about him being too strong on the wing and taking off.
They're not too strong.
Like his own bird's taking off.
They're not too strong. They're right off the hop.
They're overweight.
They're overweight.
Yeah.
So they're not going. They're really not going anywhere. They look good and strong. They feel good and strong. They got no coordination. They got nothing. But when you let them out, don't worry. Let them be pigeons.
But I think what he's worried about as well is, let's say you got a red tail or a hawk goes over, and I know they're a little too fat in that, but what happens? They just take off like bullets.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
What's the difference? What's the difference at 12 weeks old, 16 weeks old, or 10 weeks old? What's the difference?
No difference.
They got the same horsepower. They're scared. They get the shit scared out of them, and they're gone. That's the truth. You know what you need? You need a little bit of luck the first few times you break them. You know, even sometimes we say, "Oh, it's pouring rain today, eh?"
That's a good time to let them out.
Great, let them out. Why? They're going to go out. And you know what? A week before you go to let them out, or 2 weeks before, don't bathe them. And when you let them out, put your sprinkler out, put your bath trays out. Open the chute for those birds, and guess what? Take your significant other.
Just walk away.
Shopping. Walk away. Come back later.
Don't let them out when there's first times when there's 60-kilometer winds.
Yeah.
80-kilometer winds out there.
Use your common sense, and you know what? Don't worry so much. It is what it is.
Just open the chute.
I'm going to have to remember that, Leah.
What?
Okay.
Well, that is, because when the first day I do it, what am I going to say? Hold on to your seats. Here we go.
Yeah, no, exactly. Okay, so getting back to Dan. Dan is going to send his birds to Troy Spencer, Ant Bar Loft. Okay, since Troy's only going to take that amount, it just makes sense that they go there. So if Dan and Ant Bar Loft, who is Troy Spencer, can please friend request each other, message each other, or give me you guys' information and I will send it to each other, whatever. Make friends so you know what's going on. Mike Vanderyak says, when they are strong on the wing first time out, pick a day with little or no wind. Glenn says, for their maiden flight or roof sit, are you going live? Looking forward to their responses. Oh, we're going to go live throughout the whole thing, Glenn. So you're going to watch it all.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a camera that I'm going to put on a rooftop, and I'm going to have it in maybe in time lapse, Leah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll run that through the day because I'm not going to sit a Facebook show for 10 hours live. It's stupid.
No, but we certainly do every morning loft flying. We do it every morning with them.
Yeah, you're going to see the first day. It's going to be the first day the Red Wings will go out. We're going to do a hand scan inventory, and at night the clocks will be on. The birds will come in, and we're going to see on day one how good we did or how bad we did, how smart they are or how dumb they are. We're going to find that out. And this is what's great about a one-loft race, or our race here in Pioneer. We've lost one pigeon. We've lost one pigeon that got out on me, white trash. Now that's been replaced. Bird got out through the ceiling, he got up, then he got out, I had the doors open, I was airing the loft out, blah, blah, blah. Every pigeon is accounted for. I want the people in Pioneer Young Birds, Pioneer Old Birds, I want you to know where your bird failed. Did he fail? Did he not make it through the health? Did he fail on breaking? Did he fail? He's lazy. He doesn't want to loft fly. Did he fail training? Did he make all 9 races and complete it? Or where did he fail? Did he fail at 200, 300, 100? Where did he fail? We want you people to have that information. And you're following us every day, twice a day. We're on at 12 to 1 o'clock in the morning and 6 to 7 o'clock at night. And yes, it's right now, it's repetitive. It's boring. It's ooh. But for you people watching, it's valuable information. And it's free.
And that's the thing. These live shows that we give you 2 times, 3 times a day, at the moment, it is boring as hell. We're doing the same thing all the time. That's why we started with the challenges early, because it is repetitive and it is boring. But there's a reason why we're doing it. and you guys watch the shows and you take out of it whatever it is you take out of it. You can use it just for entertainment purposes or actually sit, watch, learn, absorb what we're doing and why we're doing it, right? This
And you know what?
monotonous BS is training. They are in training. Doesn't look like it, but they are.
You know, and this is the thing. We bring a bird in from Ant Bar Loft to replace for Swoop Loop, and the bird totally impressed me. Yeah, the first time he came through, the bobs. Bird, I don't know if Troy uses bobs, he does or he doesn't. Blink, he came through, he followed the mob. Then he got stuck out in the aviary. There's nobody in the hallway. 32 feet of hallway. He found the bobs to go back in. You know what?
Troy told me that bird has already been flying at
Right.
his place.
That's good.
Been out a few times, so it's very.
The bird's already been. Now the bird's showing me though, but I'm learning. Isn't it funny?
Mhm.
I'm learning. And you know what was sad today? Because we do the night show tonight on Sundays, we normally don't do an evening feed. It's sad. I missed that. That was a great. I learned today on just how real smart they really are.
Oh,
I
there
know
you
when
go.
Troy brought that bird.
No,
Yesterday.
absolutely. ABC Loft said if they're going to go, they're going to go. They have to be strong-minded for this game, and that's right. Right?
Yeah,
That is part of training, right? The good ones stay, and the other ones go.
You know, another thing. We talk about a guy from Calgary, Wayne Bodwine. He used to fly in our trifecta race. The guy wins money. He's consistently money earner. He had a bird that won the 300 miles from us, a beautiful blue grizzle. I sent it back to him the next year. He called me and he said, Ryan, I got to congratulate you. I said, well, why are you congratulating me? He goes, I just won the 400-mile open with the same bird that won for me at your place. You see what we're saying? And it's exactly like ABC's Loft saying, they're going to go, they're going to go. And the smart ones, they have that little bit of ness, that little intangible. It's in them. They figure it out.
I'm going to get to the comments here. Tracy says, awesome information, guys. Someday I may even have my own loft. That is amazing. By the way, Owen got the job. Congratulations, Owen. He's going for training. Why did he get the job? He's going to be saving money so he can afford to put his own participant in the Young Bird Racing Series next year. That's awesome, Owen.
Excellent.
Very good.
That is excellent. And you know what? I'm going to say one thing. One thing I like about Owen. We're talking about drones and things, to make the race better. He's out there, he's sending us little information about what this can do, what that can do, and I love that enthusiasm. When we get there, Owen, trust me, I'm going to take all your information. It's something we do want to do. We always want to keep raising that bar. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're involved. Good that you're working. Remember, don't get fired. Make sure you're on time and don't talk back to the boss.
Oh, and he also is getting it to pay for his chicken stuff. So well done, Owen. Good job. We
Good.
wish you good luck
Very good.
in your new job, your first job. Wow. Now it begins, bud.
I
Michael
want to go
says, I
back to
saw
school.
several of Troy's birds at the Niagara One Loft race this weekend. They were very impressive. They shone with health. Yes, absolutely. Troy's got some beautiful birds. And Troy last year, by the way, both of his Pioneer participants, start to finish, made it from start to finish.
Make start to finish, which was great. One thing I always like about Troy when he comes to our club, our showroom, always the cup's half full, always positive, always a smile on his face, wanting to help out people. And I will tell you, what he did with Swoop Loop there again. Troy, number one. Leah, anytime if we're short a bird, we can ask Troy because that pigeon, I'm telling you, I hate to say it, Troy, it's one of the nicest pigeons in the loft.
You said that twice,
Wow.
well, three
Well,
times now, so it must be.
When I handled it, I said,
You fell over.
you don't have to ask this man if he knows anything about pigeons.
That was a good one.
Because that pigeon is, I got goosebumps thinking about it. It's an ace pigeon. And I said to Troy, I bet you got better pigeons than this at home, don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
it was real nice though. What the replacement. I'm going to be honest. The birds that Troy gave, they're nice. They're not this nice. He gave the better one, and I really hope that Swoop Loop gets a great result out of this bird, and I'm happy to see that quality was there. That's a real
No,
good
absolutely.
bond.
And that's great that you helped out Troy and great that everybody's helping out. Another toot our own horns. And this is not to toot my horn, Ryan's horn, Richard's horn. This is to toot everybody's horn that's part of this little pioneer family. Oh, I got received a lovely message from somebody, and I won't say the name. But the person wrote in and said, I'm so and so from Tilsonburg. This is the most entertaining show ever in One Loft Race history. I'm kicking myself for not sending birds to you this year, but for sure I will next year. I suffer from depression and anxiety, and now with the pandemic, I have not been feeling 100%. Your show has brought me back and gave me a lot of motivation in what we love, pigeon racing. Thanks so much for what you guys are doing. So that's
good.
great, you
Thank you.
guys. Very nice.
That's
And we're
good.
all
You know what?
we're all doing that together, right?
And we're all a part of this. Everyone's reaction and talking amongst each other, and the banter back and forth, and the little jokes, and the fun, and the serious, and this it all plays in. We are is the vessel. And we made someone's day there. I mean, hey, we've got Tracy. She's having a blast. Never had pigeons. She's already saying now she's interested in getting her own pigeons. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to replace ourselves. Everyone, that's your job. And make pigeon racing fun. Help each other. Learn from each other. Learn. It's okay. Teach each other. We're all going to make a lot of mistakes. We all learn from the mistakes, and we've all going to make the same mistakes. Robert Daughtry, good tip. Look at the breeding boxes he's been using for 30 years, and he has perfect breeding. There you go. He gave you a tip. Message him on it. Maybe you don't have the room, but his boxes are working in his area. They'll probably work for you.
So I guess you want to talk about this necklace I have on, do you?
You look like Mr. T. You actually look more like Rocky.
Oh,
Except
so
the difference was
that's so
Rocky broke
funny.
his
So
nose.
who was it that said that they saw Troy's birds? Was it Ricky? Who somebody said?
No,
Who? Mike. Oh
Mike.
yeah, Mike Vandriak. And so instead of Troy being like, "Oh, thanks, Mike, thanks," it wasn't his birds, and he said to, "Oh, those aren't my birds. My birds haven't got there yet." Oh, Troy, that's you're a stand-up guy, Troy.
Hey, wait. Did you know that Troy is making a lollipop cake for Ricky's 52nd birthday?
Woohoo. Oh, you know what birds those were? I'm sorry. Those were the birds that Troy sent for Neil to go to Neil's little race there.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
never mind.
Well.
So they were in fact Troy's. I need to stop reading comments that don't pertain to what we're talking about. Anyway, okay, moving on. Oh, that's funny. Yes, Michael Pimentel
Oh.
says, see, another one getting in our sport. Yes, yeah, awesome.
Well.
Awesome.
You
And
know
Mandy
what's
says, what a wonderful story. Good for you guys. It's not
Hey.
just us, Mandy. It's you guys that, you guys contribute, you guys make funny comments, and you participate, and you make the signs, and it's you guys. It's all of us together. It's not
Hey.
just us. It's the
Hey.
family.
Listen.
It's the fam
Listen.
jam.
I got something that disgusted me today.
Oh no.
No, we're keeping it real. I had two members. You know Norm from the Carrot Patch?
Yeah.
Good Norm, eh?
Yeah.
Give him $1 million. He'll give you all your money back plus the interest. Norm, straight guy. I'm going to use Norm. Norm, I'm using your name today. And another gentleman, I'm not going to mention his name. They put an application into a combine. Get a load of this one. They wouldn't accept the application because they didn't put the $85 money with the application. They didn't text them to tell them. You know what they said? Your money didn't come with your application. We're not going to accept you in our combine. Our sport can't handle that bullshit. So, the guys out there in the Wellington Waterloo area, you're burying the sport.
Oh, wait a minute.
Are those not?
Norm's
Are they
had
not the
pigeons.
same? Are they not the same
Yeah.
Pete Combine who said we could
Manny
ship?
Alvarez, Joe Oakley, Mark Bombat, you're all in that area. I need you to wake up. You know what I'm seeing here? You know what I'm seeing?
I can say one thing.
Do you know what I'm seeing?
Norm has been flying pigeons for probably 50 years.
That's disgusting.
You know, he's not just somebody out of the blue.
This
is not to be the drama soapbox.
No.
But shame on that club now. This is the second time, or that combine, or whatever they are. The second time you've tried to.
Well, no. You know what? You want $85? $85. What are you? What's going on here? The sport can't afford $85. The sport needs flyers. What are we doing? Do you know what we're doing? I think that whole area, those people running it, get out. Go do curling, because I'm disgusted. You're not pigeon flyers. What you are?
Dictators.
Dictators, and you're a real, we can put 4 letters together with an ing, joke.
All right,
Sorry,
moving
I'm
on.
disgusted.
We're going to get off that. I'm not going to go on about that, but yes, shame on that. Shame. That's all I have to say. Mandy says Mike wants to hear about the bling. He's on now.
Mikey
would like to know about the bands.
Listen, Mikey, you see, this is my father, and he's wearing it. I look a hell of a lot better when I'm wearing it, but you know what? You tried it. This bling is not, this isn't to look good. We want to make pigeon racing with a purpose. Feed is expensive. Training is expensive. Building a loft. Go price out building a new pigeon loft. It's expensive. Buying pigeons is expensive. Medication is expensive. And at the end of the day, you put all this money out and you try to win, and you're learning and you're putting your time in, and time is money. Because we don't have time. One thing we're short on is time. So we invest our time in this. We can't make any money. These bands, we solve this problem. Because we are now allowing people to save money in racing, and every race we're going to have 6 winners. 6. We've got a $2 category, a $5 category, a $10, a $20, a $50, and a $100 winner take all. We're the Pioneer Racing Pigeon Club.
So some people won't understand what you're talking about.
Right, and don't cut me off here.
Right.
Our club membership fee, it's $125. You become a club member, you can buy any of these bands. Let's say you want to band 100 babies with the $5 bands. That's your price point. Band your babies, come to shipping. Well, how much do I got to pay for 9 Youngbird races? Nothing. You've purchased the bands from us. You've banded your birds. You have, on the other leg, you have a registered FCI ring, which is a AU, an IF, a Belgium, a CU band on this leg. You've got our band on the other leg. The band goes back. You put the electronic ring on, so your bird has double bands on one leg. Works no problem. And you can fly your pigeons no charge. You want to ship 50 birds? Great. You want to ship 100 birds? Great. You want to buy 10 $2 rings, 10 $5, 10 20, 10 50, 10 100? You can. And in each division, there will be a winner. So the $2, they'll win. They have prize money. The $5 have prize money. The 10s, the 20s, the 50s. The 100s, the 100 winner take all. If the bird tops the Pioneer Combine, the People's Combine, your combine, if it wins, if it's the overall winner, it wins all the money from each division. If that $100 bird is 10th, it only wins, or 5th, or 2nd, it only wins in the $100 bracket. So we could possibly have 6 winners on a weekend. We could possibly have 1 winner on a weekend. But pretty much it's going to be 6 winners per weekend. You're all making money, saving money. We want to grow the sport, and we want these pigeons to start putting just a little bit of money in your pocket, a little bit of gas money, a little bit of feed money.
So you mean you can get on the truck
for free?
All you have to do is pay the membership.
Pay the membership and buy the bands. And done.
And you get on the truck for free.
And by the way,
and
you don't need any open races because you get 9 of them as young birds. And if we like this and you guys really like it, I don't mind extending the young bird season to 12 races, 15 races. In Canada and in North America, people are a little bit more geared up to young bird racing because I think every year it's like a new start. We're going to have an old bird season as well. But what I'm saying is it's about time that these pigeons start to at least earn a little bit of money for you. And save you money at the same time.
So when can people get these bands?
Leah, when is the sales going on for these?
Well, I was going to start selling them July 1st. If you guys want, we can open it up sooner. If you guys want to start buying the bands slowly, every month or whatever. It is $125 membership fee. This is for 2022 Young Bird Race Series. Okay, not for this year. It's for next year.
Next year, that's right. And we are looking for 5 or 6 captains. And what is a captain? We want different areas. We want up north. We want in the west end. Maybe the southern end of Toronto, or the down in Niagara or Grimsby area. We want out in Guelph, Kitchener, Tillsonburg area. We want out in the east end, Coldburg, Kingston, Montreal area. We want captains that are going to set up shipping at their places, where we can set up pickups.
Right. So Mandy's asking, do you have to bring your birds to your club, or is there going to be a pickups along the 401 or something similar? And this is what we're saying. We're looking for captains for certain areas for shipping locations. In order to be a captain, you need to have 10 of you that are going to ship from that location.
Yeah.
And we'd like one, like Ryan said, in the east, one in the north, one in the west, one in the south. And if you guys can make that happen, then we will pick up at your locations.
Right.
Mike Vanderyak says fly young and old together, 12 winners every week.
Yeah, we can.
We can do that. Sure.
We can do that. And remember, though, the thing is to do that, and Dave Ottaway, he's doing that out in Nova Scotia. And Dave Ottaway was a guy that you kind of grew up with and knew into the pigeons around here. And 30 years he flew in our area, old bird season, young bird season. He went over there and he readapted and he came up with that idea of putting them together. And that's great. Right now, though, this is a new idea. I don't know if we can put young and olds together just yet. I would love to do it. Because you know what? I don't think properly you can get these old birds set up the way it's going. I think old bird racing should start about the first week, the first week of June. Give the old birds some time. Let it warm up. I got guys coming here on the weekend, Ian and Rick from Niagara Falls. They did the breath blowing out. They're going to send the birds 88 miles. What are both of them doing? This is bullshit. You can't get birds ready in these cold temperatures. It's not good. It's not good. And I agree. It's not good.
Well, they say if the temperature is under 55 degrees, it hurts the muscle.
Right.
The growth. It hurts the muscle.
It could.
Right.
We don't know, but yeah, you could be right.
Stick your arm out of the car when it's 45 degrees and do 80 kilometers and see, without a shirt, just your bare arm.
Right.
See how it feels.
We got lots of comments here, guys, please. So Cole's notes versions. So we've got lots of people already that are looking for handlers for this 2022 band, 2022 race series for next year.
Right.
So guys that are in our area, this is a great way for you to make friends, make a little extra money. Who knows? You can open up your loft, pick a couple guys that you want to handle for, right? It's a great way because I think we're going to have a lot of people. We have already Owens looking for a handler. Rodrigo, he wants to go on the $50 series. He's looking for a handler. Dan Gregorik's asking, how far will the farthest race point be? Because he may need a handler. You know,
Right. And this is great. You can feel it. You can feel the excitement. And I ask. We were part. We were part of the Up North Combine. You were there since 1970, and I know there's a lot of good pigeon guys there. They're great pigeon flyers. They like to fly pigeons. Please give us a chance. It's all we're asking. Come on, help be handlers. Guys like Troy Good, Mike Van Kempen, Rhodey starting to handle birds. Guys are handling birds great. Good. More of yous come on. If we all stick together and we move in the right direction, this is going to be great. We are looking, and I'm going to be honest, that Pioneer one-off race next year for young birds. Guys, I'm asking you, put all your bands, all the birds you're going to send, put the $100 winner take all. That'll be close to $20,000 for 9 weeks in the winner take all category. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And you know what? If your price point's $2 in the $2 band category, and you want to buy 150 of those bands, you can ship them every week. That's not a problem. We're not here to say, oh, he's sending 200 birds a week in the $2 category. He's bad. It's horrible. No. We want to get the numbers up. Our goal is 6,000 pigeons. You know what? I got people say to me, it can't be done here. It won't be done. I don't believe in words like can't or won't. We're going to do it. You're going to do it, eh?
Okay, so back to the comments. So Ricky Cruz, okay, so Dan says he may also want to be a handler as well, depending on how we can make the course. This is a possibility for Dan Gregorik to be a handler for this, which is incredible. So Dan, we're working on it. We're going to try.
Right. And the other thing, which is the most dangerous thing, and it's the worst thing, we have to pick a course. Okay? Course. We don't want to go one way. We want to open it up so everyone feels like there's some fairness. You know, we have a guy, Neil Gonzalez. He's tickled pink about racing pigeons. He's on the short end. I've seen him come to my place. People were ripping and tearing at him. Oh, you're on the short end. You're too short. We're dying here, pigeon flyers. We need to open it up. We need to open it up. If we don't open it up, we're going to be in trouble.
Right. So Ricky Cruz, on that note, says, now for the guys in the Niagara area, how will that work? I mean, everyone complains about water, short end and such. He's not complaining, but he's just asking.
Right. Well, you know, ask the people in Ireland about water. You don't have water yet. They got to go around a bit of water, or they got to go over the water. In Ireland, they got to cross what, 2 channels or 2 seas?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm getting so sick of water. Here it is. Rick Fife, he mastered the water. What do you guys think? He bought birds from Ireland? No. He figured out how to get them to cross the water. I'm hearing water. You know what? When you go up north, they fly over miles of green sea. What's that? Trees, bush. That's the same as water. Come on. All pigeon men seem to like to do is figure out a way, and I hate to say it again, why it can't be done. What's the problem? Figure out a solution. Pioneer, that's what we're doing.
Rodrigo says, whoever they handle the pigeons, they get to keep the pigeons. Rodrigo, we are not going to get in the middle of any type of handler breeder negotiations. We're running the race series, we're running the club, and it's for you guys to sort it between each other.
Right.
One rule that we do have is that both the handler and the breeder must both be members of the Pioneer Club. You both must pay the $125 yearly membership fee. That's a must. So
that's a must, and yes. Here's my thought. This is just a thought. If you're getting a handler, okay, talk to the handler. What does he want to fly? Is he a $50 kind of guy, $100 kind of guy? What's your split going to be? Is it a 50-50, a 60-40? Please negotiate properly. And when you're doing your negotiating, I would probably get it in a nice little email, finished off saying, hey, this is the cut. This is what I'm getting. I get my birds back at the end. And just talk amongst each other. And you know what? If you're a handler and a guy sends you a pigeon and it's the best pigeon you've ever raced, and it's going to happen, and the deal is you got to give the bird back, don't be a bad guy. Give him his bird back.
And what I would suggest is,
Here.
like I had suggested to Dan, to contact Troy, if you're looking for a handler, don't take our, like, I don't want to just put up a list and then you just take our word for it or whatever. My suggestion is get to know some guys in this area. If you're, wherever you are in the world, contact them on Facebook, friend request them, follow their racing season this year, and then make your decision. Get to know them. Don't just, it's very important which handler you pick, right? Not all handlers are built the same. So if you're going to invest this money and invest your pigeons into this, that's what I suggest you do.
Right. And that's a big reason why you see the bands here today. You're not seeing the bands here December 20th, and you're all in a scramble. Here's the deal. We're giving you the tools. Go out there and make friends. Go out there and make friends. Talk to people. Do some research in our area. Ask us, who are some good flyers that you know? I don't mind telling you. I'll give you a whole list of them.
Yes, Rodrigo, you can put your one loft Pioneer one loft birds on with a $50. Yes, band. Yes, you can band Pioneer entrance with these money bands and fly for both. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. And this is what we're doing. We're entering this in. We want to take this race, and I told you we would like to see it within 2 to 3 years to have about 6,000 birds, and I'd like to see about 3,000 old birds. And I think it'll be great. It's going to really open up the sport.
I like the idea what Dave Ottaway's doing.
I love it.
I like Mike Vandriak mentioned it. I thought it was a good idea. It would help we could make more races, but also kind of shorten the season, your summer. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So for example, the way it is now, we fly old birds from May, let's say the first week of May or the last week of April, right till the middle of July.
Oh yeah.
Right, or the first week of July, and then we have a week or so to break.
Right.
We start flying young birds from that time till October. Right. So if you're flying both, that's a long season.
Well,
right. So if you take old birds and make it start maybe the last week of June
or middle of June.
Right, and go right till
October 1st. Done.
Well, you still got a pretty long season.
Well, but I mean, you kind of condense it so people are working the birds. We're not there yet, so let's not worry about it.
Also, Owen's asking, does the membership apply to all ages? I know some clubs have like a junior, like a minor, or a minor can join for free and buy stuff. I don't know if we're going to do a junior membership, how that's going to work. I mean, I don't know yet, Owen. But I do know that the membership is also going to give you guys discounts on products that we sell. If you are a Pioneer Club member, you will receive discounts off of feed, loft supplies.
On certain things, you're going to get
other stuff. Yeah.
Also, right off the bat, there's a discount. Right off the bat. If you're a member join up to be a member of some clubs, it's $35 to $50 to be a member of the club. Then if you want to fly old birds, it's how much? $150 or more?
$180 to $200.
Let's say $200
for a 20 bird limit.
For 20
or
bird,
a 30 bird limit.
For 20 bird limit. So there's $200. Mm-hmm. You've put out $40 for your club membership. There's $240.
Plus a CU member.
Plus, you got to be a CU member, which is
Another
I think
$50.
$50. So we're up to $300.
$3 to $350 right now.
And you're
I'm sure they've all done the math. Owen, if not,
right.
Owen can help you out. He's done the math. It is
Right.
the
So-
most cost
So
effective.
here we are, club membership.
We got it all.
$125,
Ricky,
and that puts you right on the truck.
$125 puts you on the truck, and you pick the level that you want to play at. It's going to the casino. That's it.
Neil wants to know, when do you anticipate having a race course selected? Okay, so this is another thing we were discussing today, right, Ryan? You and I?
Yeah, this is the worst part of the whole thing. Because you pick a race, okay, let's be honest. Pick a race course. The race course we picked for Pioneer this year, we got 1,600 and change sold, almost 1,700. Should have sold out. Did we get enough support in the West End? No. We got an amazing response out in Montreal. Okay, hold on. I want to fly against people who want to fly. Canada, this little province here of Ontario, it's so spread out that not one of us is going to be in a good location on every race. Some of us are going to be short, some of us are going to be long, some of us are always going to be in the middle, blah, blah, blah. But we have to make, I have to figure out some good spots, the distances, and it's going to take a little bit here of time and thinking. And you know what? Is it going to be perfect right off the go? 150% not.
So what you want
But-
to do is you
so-
want to make certain races a little west, certain races
North.
Dead north, and certain races east.
Northeast, I think.
Northeast.
Right.
That's right.
So
Northeast,
we're
northwest.
thinking, do we develop the course? Do we form a committee to develop the course? Do we get the do the captains form the committee that develop the course? Because right now we don't have a course, so we
Well,
got to
we
get a
haven't, no.
course. What is the best way to develop a course where
Right.
every we can get the maximum amount of lofts being able to participate as possible?
And I thought about this earlier. Right? We picked the first race course of the year. I'm going to say, let's say Berks Falls. Okay? On the release morning, we draw, duck, 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 pull a name out from the other 5 100 or 125 mile spots between northeast and northwest. We draw out.
You mean on shipping night?
No, on the release morning for the following week.
Oh, for the following week.
Smiths Falls. That's northwest. That's where we're going next week. We're at Smiths Falls next week. Duck, 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 duck. We're doing another 150 miler. We pull it out. Mont Tremblant. I'm just giving names. That's where we're going to be.
So do we do it that way?
Right.
Or what about doing like Wayne Bodwine, what they do out there?
They
They
go
fly 1 week, they fly east 100 miles. The next week, they fly west 100 miles. And the week after, they fly north 100 miles.
I'm perfectly good with that. But the question is, can
the public handle that?
Can they handle it? Can they handle these bands? I had someone ask, are these CU bands? No, they're Pioneer. It's the new way. People ask, well, why didn't you get CU bands? Why didn't you get AU bands? Why didn't you get IF bands? I don't care. You pick what bands you want to put on. I got guys, they will not buy our Pioneer bands. You want to know the number one reason is?
Why?
They only fly with their name bands on.
Are you kidding me?
So we have our own name bands. We used to have them. They were AU Zonigan. Right? The guy says, sorry, I don't fly unless it says.
But you can buy from the CU with your name on the band.
But he wouldn't buy our Pioneer bands.
Because it's got Pioneer on the other leg.
No, a Pioneer on the main leg this year, the main band. He wouldn't take his own bands off to put our Pioneer bands to play for money. So this is why we develop these smaller bands so you can still keep the glamour, your name.
Small. We kept the small bands for the small-minded people out there. Sorry.
That's right.
Okay. Avam is asking, what type of clock does one need if they join the Pioneer Club?
I'm going to be honest.
This year or next year? That's really the question.
I think the best clocking is a benzing. I mean, also it depends on the area. I would like to say, if you are going to be part and you're going to be a captain, a catalyst of this, try and get your clocks all switched to benzing. That way, when we do these races from all over, people can see the real time, the results. We're moving in the right direction.
Next year.
Clock is
okay.
Yeah,
Mom wants to know. So my question to him is: are you flying with a clocking system now, and where are you located? So if you could answer those two questions.
Yes, we're the Pioneer Club this year. Our main location here, 2651 Bloomington Road. We're in Stouffville, Ontario. We are going to be flying with a benzing clocking system.
We are Bloomington Road and 404.
Right. Stouffville. That's okay.
Well, we're outside of Stouffville, about 6 miles.
We don't need to get into that. We can PM him for that. But thanks.
So I'm just waiting for him to type in. Okay, so he is flying right now with a Taurus, and he is in Collingwood.
No problem. No problem. Because what are we looking for next season? And I've talked to Derek Tavares, I've talked to Bill Robertson. We're looking for a captain up in that area, in the north area, that wants to be a central shipping location where guys don't have to come all the way down here. But I'm going to be honest with you. If you are up there, you're in Kitchener, you're in Coldberg, you're in Collingwood, and you come down and you ship here at our main location, and you have a benzing clock, you only come for shipping. You don't have to come back for strike off, because the striking off is as the birds come in. It's in real time, so it's just one trip. This is the beauty of benzing.
Well, what is the promotion, if you don't mind me asking? Is there some kind of a promotion for a club or 5 guys, 10, whatever, to get together? Is there any kind of promotion deals on this clock?
Yes, so yeah, for every 5 benzing clocks in your club sold, we will throw in the club unit for your club at no charge. So if you can, and that's like around $1,000, I think. Don't quote me on that one, but I think it's around $1,000 for the club unit. So if you can get 5 of your club mates to buy a benzing, we will throw in the club unit. And we also take trade-ins on Taurus, any electronic clock, trade-ins, and you get the reduced rate, which is like the savings of around $600, $700, $800. So that's also something to keep in mind. Hold on, please. Rodrigo, yes, you can send the money to be a member through PayPal. Friends and family, please. feathersleet@gmail.com. I think you sent money before through PayPal, so that same account, please. And friends and family, 125 Canadian dollars. Mike Vandriak had something to say that, okay, so Mike Vandriak said that the NRRPA Old Bird flying fee and dues are $290 for old birds.
Whoa, so I was wrong. I said $200. I said $200. It's $295.
Well, club membership, and okay.
Oh, okay, I was close. I said $250.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's all right.
So I was out by $40.
That's I kind of look at it as, let's make this quick. I look at kids hockey. You got house league, you got rep, you got single A, double A, triple A, midget. All these divisions going up towards the NHL, right? This is what we want to do with the Pigeons. We want to make them divisions that people can fly in and save some money and not have shipping fees. Remember, Mike, at $295, you're allowed 20 to 30 pigeons. That's it. Pioneer, you want to race 150 pigeons, you can do so. You have a flurry in your head, you want to race 300 pigeons, you can do so. The sky has no limits. And you can put yourself into the bracket that you want. I want to fly $2 rings, $5 rings, $10 rings, $20 rings, $50 rings, or 100 winner take all. That means in young birds or old birds, every race, there's going to be 6 winners. Every weekend is an open race.
Oh, and then Mike says plus club membership for $40 plus CU dues for $50. So that's
You're at
another
almost
thing.
you're almost at $350 to $400.
Right.
Okay, so and you want to know what? After all that's said and done,
You fly for a piece of toilet paper.
that's right. You fly for nothing. So you know what?
They don't even give plastic out anymore.
Here's another thing. When you buy your Pioneer Club membership, right, for $125, we will sell you the AU rings, AU Pioneer rings, cost price. So you don't have to be an AU member. You don't have to be a CU member. Save yourself right off the bat $50. That's $50 you can put into your feed, your medication, training, or hey, buy yourself lunch.
Well, people like the magazine, but is this not better than a magazine? This could even be even more, this Pioneer TV. We can develop it into other things, interviews, whatever. I mean, the sky has no limit, right? This is way
And
better than a quarterly magazine that really, I mean, sorry, no offense. And I'm sure I'm probably now going to get hate mail left, right, and center, but
well, no, the organization here, I will use CU because we're here. That's a good starting point.
Mike flies for fame, glory, and prestige. Oh, that's great.
And that's what we're going to do. To win Pioneer, it's going to be prestige. That's first and foremost. Fame, I don't know about fame, but money.
Well, he's going to be famous if he wins
Money.
the $100 take all every
Yeah.
single week. He's going to be quite famous.
And you want to know what's
And
the
he
most
also
amazing?
says that he's an AU member and a CPFA member. That's fantastic. I think you support whoever you want to support. I don't care who you support. That's not what we're talking about. Do you. That's fine.
We do we.
Yeah, and
That's
we will do
one.
we.
We will do we. But we want to give the flyers options to save money, have fun, not feel like they're bullied into a corner. And that's the truth. Not here at the Pioneer anyways.
Yeah.
Now, what about guys that are local for training next year?
This year. Hold on.
This year
One other thing.
This year.
One other thing. If you want to be a handler and you're serious, and I mean, you're going to handle 10 to 20, 20 birds. You're going to be a real handler. Let us know because we'd like to get a nice photo of you by your loft, a little write-up from you that you write, and maybe, if you're okay, we can come and do a little loft visit. We can interview you, talk to you on what you're looking for and what your goals are for the up-and-coming season. So people can see who you are, what you're all about. Isn't that nice, Leah? I'm willing to do that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Owen wants to know, who do you go to make a club? And Jay-Z said, who said money? Jay-Z always tunes in when we're talking about the money. We're going to close this show down because we've almost been on for, I cannot believe it, 2 hours. But Mandy just reminded me because she said, thank you again for a great informative show. And I looked at the time like, oh my God, we've been on here a while. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. I think it's...
Oh, so I told you, Leah, go at 8 o'clock. Maybe we should skip these 8 o'clocks on Sunday. No, but you know what? You know why the damn show's this long? Because you people have the interest, the feel, and the love. And that's what we like.
That's right. So, what are we looking for? We are looking for captains in those areas who want to work with us to develop the course, to have a shipping location. You need 10 guys or girls, 10 lofts to create a shipping location.
No battery.
Mike Van Dyke says, in seriousness, the Pioneer One Loft race is the best value going, and sounds like the Pioneer Club racing will be the same. We hope so. Michael Pimentel says, night, night. Rodrigo says, Ryan Richards Lonikin is great stuff. Henry says, great show. Glenn says, who said this was boring? And Mandy said, inquiring minds want to know. Benzing, hopefully this week. It's here.
Hey,
They're in
Leah,
Ontario. Oh, look how cute.
He's a knockout.
look at this. Give me him back on this camera, Leah. He's gonna
Look
be
how
up.
cute he is.
Can I buy him? Will you let me buy him?
This little guy will be up for auction for our Pioneer Trailer fundraiser auction coming to you in a few weeks. You'll be able to purchase him at auction, and he will fly in the Pioneer this year's Young Bird
Oh, special
one last
announcement.
race.
Special announcement, Leah.
Where's Harlequin? Get the other one. Let me see the other one too.
Maybe we should put them both up, and the winner bid can pick which one they want.
Oh, maybe. Look how cute they are.
Very nice.
They're
Robert
real
Godfrey
nice.
says, I love that bird. Well, Robert, you're going to have a chance. You'll have a chance to have them
And,
fly for you.
and you know what, Leah? We talked about 10 or so birds. I did want to, and I forgot. I did want to offer to Ant Bar Loft. He flew excellent last year in our race. If he would like to donate one for the auction, that no problem.
Yes, Troy Spencer, if you have one you'd like to donate to the Pioneer Trailer fundraiser, let us know. All money raised will go towards the building of the Pioneer Trailer, and we're gonna work on getting some artwork, like a wrap, some kind of cool signage that we're gonna put on it, so that money will go towards that as well. But yeah, very cute. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. You guys have been great talking, great advice everybody gave, great participation. Awesome. We're making this happen, all of us together. So from Ryan, Richard, and myself, we want to thank you guys so much for that.
Thank you very much, guys.
Sorry, I got your damn hand on again.
You know, you're really.
Well, because when
we're
I'm
trying.
talking, I'm not looking, and sorry.
Got to go back to producer school, Leah. You guys have been great.
Mandy wants to know the band number of the lighter one. She says the darker one is whinier for sure.
Yeah, I don't pick the one.
What's the band number of that little guy?
I'm going to read it so it's in writing.
Show his nice back.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful
look at that.
Wait
you
a
can find
minute.
water in the desert.
Just a minute. I got to switch there. There you go.
All right, here we go. The ring number of this baby, AU 2021 Pioneer 112015. Mealy pied.
Oh, so not only will be flying in the one loft, but we'll be flying in the Pioneer Band race as well. That's a great bang for your buck.
Take a look.
So cute.
Geez, okay. This is a nice one. I wish. How did you put this here on purpose for me, guys? You've been great. We're gonna see you tomorrow in Pioneer Village. Tomorrow, Leah, I didn't tell you this. We're gonna do I think a worming.
Oh, exciting! Stay tuned for Monday's worming session, folks. That'll be fun. Learn all about worming with Ryan and Leah. Do you do it individually?
No, we'll do it individually so guys can see the birds. Maybe I'll have that on board.
Okay, I'll be on too then. So then I can we can go through each bird. You're going to do the entire loft, or?
Do you want to do the Reds, the Red Wings tomorrow, and maybe Tuesday the Yellow Jackets?
Okay, so tomorrow, guys, Red Wings will be getting a worming live on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're interested in watching, tune in. When are we doing that? Tomorrow afternoon?
We'll do that. You know what we'll do? We'll start after the feeding. I'll do the feeding in the morning. And we'll start, I don't know, 2 o'clock.
2? Okay, so 2 tomorrow for the worming show. Great way to spend a Monday afternoon. The Pioneers and the worming.
Wait, hey, it's okay. We all like to play in the worms. And remember, when Mandy gets off here, she's going to watch Steve Ross.
Yes, she's going to watch Steve Ross. I'm losing my voice. Rodrigo, wait, last question. When are you guys going to put the birds in the auction? What are we here now? Are we the end of April? I don't even know what the day is. So it's April 25th. When did you want to run that? I wanted to kind of run it. I wanted to run it in conjunction with like the buy, sell, and trade, but since that's postponed, is it not good if we run it like the weekend of the 24th? Is that too late?
I'd like to run it, maybe kick it off after May 9th, maybe in that week time. Maybe something like that. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. It'll be in the first two. It'll be after May the 9th.
Who do we have birds from?
We got birds from Ian Sybil, Hope and Troy, Tavares, Wolfie, Wolf Hill Loft.
Dan
Come
Gregor?
on, Dan Gregoric. I believe
Dave
Bill
Otto-
Lima,
Dave
Dave
Ottaway.
Ottaway, LMR here. He's gonna throw one in.
Yeah.
There's a I can't remember. I got the list there.
And you own the bird, like you
Yep.
own the bird. It's your bird. It's going to race in the Pioneer 2021 Young Bird One Loft race and the Pioneer Gold Band race. So it's a great bang for your buck.
If it's gold banded, yes. This one will be gold banded. It depends what the people send. I can't guarantee.
Starting at again? There's bids are starting at two.
I think they're at $250. They start.
The perch fee, not the perch fee. I'm sorry.
The prize money.
The
200.
prize portion.
They're going to start at 200.
No, 250. No, wait a minute. 200 goes to prize, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to start at $200, and then anything above they'll go up in $20 increments, right, Ryan?
25. 25.
Or $25 increments. Anything made over and above the $200, all money is going to go towards building the Pioneer trailer. So
that's right. And
you're
they
buying
will be on
and flying for a cause.
And all the birds will be on Feathers Elite Pigeon Auction. We'll have videos of all the birds' pedigrees. You will see them. We will have a show on them. And we may even have a live closing, Leah.
Yeah, we may even have a live closing. So stay tuned for that. That will be fun. That's it from us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. It's been a great show. Thank you.
Enjoy your evening, guys. Thanks for flying with us.